running ads to free lead magnets sucks. And all the top advertisers and marketers that I know never do it. And I never do it myself. And in this video, I'm going to explain why that is the case. And no matter what you are selling, whether it's courses, coaching, whatever, why you should stay away as best as you can from running paid ads to free lead magnets. Because I know why a lot of people do it. And I know a lot of marketers out there sort of promote it as well, because they believe that, well, if people sign up for my free lead magnet, I'm going to make it so good, people are going to consume it. I just need to nurture them a bit with email as well. And they're going to get so much value. They're going to be so happy that they're going to beg me to help them. They're going to buy from me. And if you've been running ads to a free lead magnet, you probably know by now that that's not the case at all. And from my experience, that is not the case at all. I'm going to explain why, so that you don't have to burn more money, burn more time than you have the patience for. So I'm going to go through 3 things that tell you why this doesn't work, and an alternative method that you will probably like, that all the top advertisers that I know at least prefer as well, and that I prefer. So let's go into the actual first reason why lead magnets suck, at least when it comes to running paid ads to them. Okay, so number 1 reason, okay, is simply how Meta works when it comes to ads. And I'm going to talk about Meta specifically, like Facebook, Instagram and stuff, because that is where my experience is. Okay, so let's talk about Meta for a moment. Okay, so if you've ever done Facebook ads or anything like that, then you probably know that when you create a campaign, Facebook is gonna ask you what your objective is, right? So it's going to ask you like, hey, do you want sales, leads, awareness, whatever? And so when you run ads to a free lead magnet, you would put in leads, right? Let's say the free lead magnet is like, I don't know, a free ebook, free masterclass, webinar, whatever. What Facebook is going to do is find people who would be the best person for what you are promoting, right? The person who have the highest likelihood of signing up to your thing, right? But that's the thing, okay? The person who is most likely to actually sign up, what that means is that their behavior is signing up to a bunch of free shit. That's what they do, and Facebook knows this. They know everything about everyone, right? They know exactly who is a buyer, someone who actually buys stuff, and who is a non-buyer, someone who consumes for free and just signs up to a bunch of fucking free lead magnets. And what Facebook is going to do is give you the latter. They're going to give you the freebie seekers, okay? That's basically what you're asking for. You're asking Facebook like, hey, I want people who just sign up for a bunch of free stuff, right? And that is their behavior, okay? So this idea that, well, I'm just gonna, get them to consume my thing and nurture them, and then they will ascend, not the case, because these people are freebie seekers, okay? The likelihood of them buying is extremely low. Even if your offer is good, even if your emails are good, etc. They're just non-buyers. Their behavior is signing up to a bunch of free stuff. Okay? So that's the first reason. The second reason is the whole consumption bit of the actual lead magnet. Because you might think, like I mentioned at the beginning, that, well, if my thing is good that I'm promoting, people are going to want to buy my next thing, right? They actually have to pay money for, right? But here's the thing about sort of lead behavior or just customer behavior overall is consumption. Okay? So the thing is that when people buy something, they actually, in a lot of cases, when it's a low ticket thing, they don't actually consume it. Okay? I've ran a ton of ads at this point to many courses that are paid, and even when people pay for the thing, the vast majority of people don't even open the freaking course or program, whatever I sold, right? If that's the case, if people don't open whatever they just bought that they actually spent money for, do you think that people will consume a free thing that they just randomly, you know, found on Facebook? No. That doesn't happen very often. The vast majority of people won't even open the thing. They might open it. They might just like see that they got it. But that's basically it. Like most people won't open it, let alone actually consume it. Oh, whatever. And so this idea that, well, they will consume my free lead magnet and just get a bunch of value and then ascend to my next thing, doesn't take into account the fact that people don't open or consume, right? And so you're basically just spending money to get people who will immediately forget about you. Like, immediately. Okay? They won't open your thing, they won't consume your thing. They will just like forget about it. They just don't care. So that's the second reason. Okay? Now I'm gonna get into the third reason why running ads to free lead magnets suck. And it's because it is simply not a good long-term or short-term strategy. So people will say, you know, play for the long term. Sure, they might not consume immediately, they might not buy immediately, but we're playing for the long term, right? We might get them to consume in the future. We hope that they will, you know, read our emails, consume our content, etc. And so, sure, they might not, you know, consume immediately, but they will in the future, and they will buy in the future. And my question to that is, well, for how long are you willing to spend money on ads and wait to see that your funnel is even working, is even going to make, you know, sales or even allow you to break even? Like, for how long? Because if you're not already making, I don't know, 8-9 figures, my guess is that you probably don't want to, or perhaps can't afford to spend, you know, $10,000 on ads to see if even just one funnel is working. And it's not that it's a simple funnel either. You're going to have to create the lead magnet, run the ads, create a bunch of email sequences, tweak the offer, or like test the offer, right? There's so many steps that you have to take people through, and so much time that it takes to take people through it, that you can't know in just a few days time whether it actually works or not, or if you should like pivot, right? Like, you don't even know for weeks on time on what you should tweak. Perhaps, you know, you can get an understanding on, you know, if your ads are good, right? Depending on like cost per lead and everything, and like your opt-in page and stuff like that, you can sort of optimize that pretty fast. But when it comes to like your emails and your offer, that's gonna take time, right? Because there's so many steps that people have to go through before they even like see those things, right? Before they even get the opportunity to buy, right? And so it's very high risk, right? Because I mean, let's say you spend, I don't know, $10,000 on ads, right? And you get, I don't know, 4,000 leads, right? Half won't even open your lead magnet. And I'm honestly being very generous there. Like half of people, 50%, won't even like open or consume your lead magnet. And then the vast majority, probably also half, doesn't need to be the other half, right? but like half of the 4,000 people won't even open your emails, right? So 50% of people won't even like open your emails, right? Not open. And then there's gonna be a chunk, a pretty good chunk probably, who unsubscribe from your list. Okay, unsubscribe. And there's gonna also be a chunk who literally sign up for your thing and then immediately forget about you. And that's like the people who like unsubscribe immediately, who, you know, get out of your list in like the first 4 weeks or so. They literally just like forgot about you, right? And so this is the play that people want you to actually take, right? And so I hope you can see now that you're literally just like burning money, right? You're spending, $10,000 for 4,000 leads, and like half of them will exit your business in a very short time, or won't like consume anything that you have, right? And so now I'm going to tell you what you can do instead, and what every person that I know who is exceptional at marketing does in order to scale businesses and get the right people into their businesses. And I'm going to share it with you as well, right? And it actually starts with a quote from one of the greatest marketers of all time. You've probably seen him because he does partnerships and stuff with Russell Brunson, and that is Dan Kennedy. And Dan Kennedy once said that you don't build a relationship to get a sale. You get a sale to build a relationship, right? And that building a relationship to get a sale, that is the prior strategy. It's the free lead magnet, nurture, hope people buy, right? The second half of that quote, you get a sale to build a relationship, is where low ticket becomes very relevant. Okay? And this is the core shift. So instead of paying for people who might potentially, probably not invest in the future, you ask for small commitment up front before people can even enter your business. And I'm not talking about obviously like high ticket or some big commitment. It's a very low commitment, right? It's a low commitment thing. And what that does is that it immediately just filters out the freebie seekers, because if you're gonna run ads to a low ticket, then you're gonna have to ask Meta for buyers, which means that their behavior is to buy, right? So it filters out the freebie seekers. It shows you who is actually willing to act, and it allows you to actually see the ROI of your ad spend from day one in a lot of cases, right? It doesn't need to take weeks or months. You can see if a low ticket is working within like $50 and the first day of starting the ads, right? It's very simple. And guess what? Now your emails don't need to warm them up. They're already warm. They actually bought, which means that they're going to at least have more commitment to consuming your thing, right? And so you don't need these extensive nurture sequences that a lot of people advocate for. And this is exactly why top advertisers and marketers don't run ads to free lead magnets, because they don't want leads. They want customers. They want to know who buys, who engages, and who ascends, because that makes everything so much easier. Your ads give you feedback very fast, and you see the ROI. All the numbers make sense. The follow-up becomes simpler. Just everything becomes just simpler. You're not hoping that a relationship will potentially turn into a sale months later. You're starting the relationship with a sale. And that is the difference. If you want to build an audience that actually buys, stop training them to consume for free. Stop asking the advertising platforms to literally just give you freebie seekers, and you will find that your business scaling becomes far easier and will make much more sense. And on my YouTube channel, I'm going to talk much more about creating low ticket offers that actually work and actually gives you good clients and good high ticket buyers. So if you like this, then you can subscribe. Goodbye.